Reilly. She is a breathwork and alignment coach. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what you do.
So, I help guide women from limited to liberated through somatics and energetics so that they can activate their inner it girl.
Well, there's a lot of questions I have there. So first, clearly, like, what is an it girl?
To me, an it girl is the girl that knows that she is it. She's self sourcing, she's not looking outside of herself for
Mm,
validation. And it's all about coming back to who we really are. And we've always been it.
yeah. So when you say it girl, do you feel like you're an it girl? Has your health journey taken you to that space?
Yes, I've done a lot of delayering, deprogramming to come back to myself and my inner it girl, my intuition, and my inner guidance.
Can you elaborate? Is there like a personal experience you might have had that got you to understand, like, I need to come back to myself? And with that, when you talk about the healing journey with the
Hmm.
somatics, like, I know a lot of listeners are hearing that word and what that means.
Yeah. So for me, it was coming into back into my body, and I had gone through a lot of different experiences, some capital T trauma, and I would always just sweep everything under the rug, and I
Mhm.
felt like if I just didn't talk about these things that I could forget about them. And once I started working with the body, what we don't process, we carry. And
Mhm.
so once I started working with the body, I was able to really come back to myself and break free of the mask of the walls that I was putting up.
Interesting. And is that through somatic work?
Yeah, so it's been a journey, that's
Mhm.
for sure. But it really started when I was doing acupuncture,
Okay.
and from acupuncture, I got into energy healing, and the energy healing, I felt big releases in my body, and then breath work
Mm.
was really the like last piece of the puzzle for me that really gave me the freedom to find my inner it girl.
And explain a little bit about breath work, because there's such a stigma, like, oh, I do breath work and yoga, or I
Hmm.
know I need to breathe a certain way. Of course, I have to breathe. But you're saying that breath work actually helped heal you in some way. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. And I say that breath work moved me literally because I grew up in San Diego. I lived there the majority of my life, and it physically moved me to Tennessee. And it was something that I had always thought about, and I had ruminated in the back of my mind. And it wasn't until breath work that I got the clarity and the courage to make that move.
Mm.
But I would say that ultimately all of those things and being in the body, somatics, soma means of the body. And once I was able to really tap into what was stored in my body and release, I found so much clarity and just peace, inner peace.
Beautiful. That's great. So, can you explain a little bit more about, if my audience would love to know, like, how they can work with you if they were a client of yours, what would they be coming to you really for? And I know you mentioned how to be the it girl, but is there something specific that you work on with each client?
Yes. So I work one on one with clients, and I really like to start with breath work
Okay.
and doing somatic work because I have just kind of learned as I've been on this journey myself that when we work with the body first, we're able to go much deeper with the energy work piece.
Mm.
So, the first session would look like a an hour breathwork session, and we'd be able to go, deeper as you build your capacity with breathwork. And one of the biggest misconceptions about breathwork is that it's this scary, intense thing, and like I'm going to be screaming and crying, and maybe I'll throw up. Like,
Mhm.
and I think that it gets painted that way across social media and television, that it's going to be very intense. But your breath will never take you anywhere that you're not supposed to go.
Mm.
And I found that from doing daily breath work, I was able to really move across the country by myself. And it's that repetition and that consistency and showing up for yourself that builds the momentum. So, although it, you know, looks like fun and sexy to have a big release, like it's really about the daily showing up, doing the work. So I give my clients tools that they can work with every day.
Okay. And do you have a program or some, how can people reach you and work with you?
Yes, they can go to my website, ericareilly.com, and I have a few different offerings there for beginners. And then I also have a 3-month long program for that girl that really wants to find her inner it girl, and it's called the Glow Up Girl sessions.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So how do you know if you're a beginner? Because I can say, "Oh, I've done breath work before. Maybe I want
Mhm.
the full pack." So does that get you deeper where you do the breath work and then you mentioned that you go deeper into the body after that. So
Yes.
okay,
So I have one session that's called the anchor session, and that's really just like anchoring into the breath, anchoring into the present moment. So I would say start there if you've never tried breath work before.
okay.
But if someone does have a breathwork background and they're well versed, I would suggest the portal session. So that has breath work, but it also leads into energy work too.
Mm.
So you can go a bit deeper.
Okay, wonderful. And that's great. Do you have an Instagram handle? Is there any other way we can find you and learn more about what you're doing?
Yes, it's Erica _Reilly.
Okay. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.